JD here, and as you can see, it's my F1 eSports attempt, which I will now be talking through the whole thing of basically what I was thinking throughout the whole time, and hopefully this can help you out in future in terms of tips and tricks to get better to AI and everything. So now running about 211 wing for the sub 80 diff, which gives me really good traction coming off here. Now it's really important that you get Kimi Räikkönen into this corner. You really do need to do that. So braking really late, try and stay really close to him to give you just a better angle, better exit of this, which you managed to do a fairly decent exit of this. Now using the fuel mixtures, lean really for that part only. For this you want to be getting Stroll going into this right hander. Sometimes you can get him into the left if you aim your car to the left. Sometimes the AI moves out of the way because he's actually a lapped car, he's not actually fighting for a position. So sometimes you can actually get him into the left, but we've got a nice clean exit now. And for this rest of this lap and the next lap, it's all about how fast really you can go at all. And as I said, I'm using 211 wings with 11 ballast. 11 ballast really, with the setups on this game now, you really want to be running 11 ballast everywhere. And just really just playing around with the wings until it feels like you can really control it pretty well, because it will be quite slidey, but if you can control it well, it's going to give you the maximum lap time. And I am on the controller for this reason because I'm just better with the controller in the wet. It's as simple as that. I know in esports you won't be allowed to use a controller, but in terms of actually qualifying for it, I'm pretty good in the wet with the wheel now as well, just not on the same level yet. So I'm going to give myself the best possible opportunity to qualify, hence why I'm actually on the controller for this. So you can see a first lap here of a 45.8. Ideally you want to be hitting the 45s every single lap. Going to this first corner, we're not going to use lean mix anymore. We only use it for the first two corners of the very beginning of the event, and that's it. Because in the intermediates, it's not really that necessary to use lean. It's only in the full wet conditions where lean, I say, definitely gives you a fairly big advantage for this. But coming into here now, I want to be braking nice and late, about 110 meters out, going a little bit deep, which is what you want to do in the wet round here. You don't really need to hit the apex, just go in deep and cut back. It's all about the exit. 6th gear just before the curb ends here. I'd go down to 5th just to give me a little bit of an extra bite, throw it into here as fast as possible, let it drift out a little bit, but then come back towards the edge of the track. Take another late apex again. This corner, you can make up so much time through here. So 4th gear, trying to clip this, not to run this curb too much, but we actually, doesn't really punish us that time. Sometimes it actually lets you spin out. Going into here now, 4th gear, downshifting very late again, just to not create any oversteer, but just get a little bit of bite. 3rd gear, you want to short shift into 4th, and get crucial that you get a very good exit here. Staying in standard, then rich halfway through the corner, going up through the gears now, and going into this bottom corner again. You don't want to really take the dry line. You want to go in deep and then cut back, because it gives you just a much better exit. As you can see, coming to here now, going a little bit deep, not completely hitting the apex, but you can see getting a very good exit coming off here now. Imagine if you're staying in rich now, because you want to get these two cars going to tail 1. You can cut that corner so much more, actually cut it, and it doesn't give you a warning. So I definitely threw away a little bit of time here, but we still did a 45.5 for this. And now it's crucial that we get Ricciardo going into tail 1. We really do need to get him here. So going 4th gear, 3rd gear last minute, just get that little extra bite. But luckily the AI, if you poke your nose in, it will just move out the way, which is pretty lucky. And now Verstappen, kind of awkward to get past them here, so going up into rich, getting the slipstream. Was thinking about going to the outside, but actually decided to go down the inside, braking really late. Going to have to use 2nd gear. We're actually going quite deep. 2nd gear, 3rd gear, short shifting, just to give you good traction. We're purple just through the slipstream there. 6th gear again as the curve finishes, always down to 5th, because I just really personally prefer just throwing it in. It's okay to stay quite tight to this. It's all about your exit speed really. Again, stay super tight. Do a nice wide line, try not to hit the curb too much. Do not hit this outside curb because it will spin you out. This time we decided to avoid the curb, which definitely, in my opinion, is just a much more optimal line. Going through here, downshifting late last minute, about half on this curb, late apex through here. I go up through 3rd, try and rev it out a little bit, do as late apex as possible for this, but it's very easy the car to get away from me here, as it always constantly did. You can see it almost wanted to snap on me there, but luckily we somehow managed to hold it. No DRS obviously, intermediate conditions. 8th gear, wanted to go down to standard because Rich have just create a little bit too much wheel spin, so about 120 meters out. You can see gone in deep, kind of missed the first part of the apex, but keep the car straight, and then go on the full throttle. That's definitely what you want to do. Now this time, this is how much you can cut. You can cut it even more than that actually, but we managed to get a really good exit, and we do a 45.4, which is a very quick time in these conditions. 50-meter board, that's where you want to be turning in 6th gear. Try and hold it as much as possible. Let the engine do the braking. As you notice, not really doing much braking there. You're just letting the engine do the braking, holding it in the high gear through here. Now try and get a really good slingshot off this corner, which I do describe quite a lot of corners in this game. But try and get a really good slingshot. Get in the slipstream because it'll just give you that tiny little bit more speed. Going down the inside, try and stay close to him because the AI will move out the way. And you want to move to the right hand side because again, these aren't actually for position, they're actually lapped cars. So you want to get past them again, and now this is going to be a smooth run to the end. So that's all the AI pretty much dealt with. There is no more AI to deal with because Vettel was about 19 to 20 seconds up the road now. So now this is probably the hardest part, where you've just really got to just keep your composure, because I did a 45.8 first lap, and I think I did a 5, then a 4, which is some very, very quick laps. I think the quickest I've seen on PC someone's done, I think they've done a 45.2, so there's not really that much difference in lap time. It's just all about clearing the AI pretty clearly, or optimally, without getting held up, and then just trying to maintain your tyres for this. In terms of the pad and wheel, I honestly feel there's not really any difference in this at all. I think the pad definitely has an advantage in the full wet conditions where force feedback is a lot more of a factor, but on this I don't really feel there's not really too much difference at all. But now we're going to come on to our last lap again to see if you need to really do cut this corner. Unfortunately, that's what you need to do if you want to be quick. Coming through here now, we've managed our fuel because I've done enough runs on this that I know I've got enough fuel to get to the end. So staying in standard through the corners, you don't really want to be in rich because it will just burn out the engine, really. It will burn out the engine, so you actually start to lose a slight little bit of power down the straight, but also on the traction as well. It won't give you any better traction than it would in standard. Lean, I think, is not really necessary, as I said in intermediates. In wet conditions, you'll see me go from max in qualifying to lean, or rich to lean in the race. You'll definitely see me do that, which I did in the eSports round here at China last time, where I was actually winning the race until the strategy kind of got away from me. But in wet conditions, in intermediates, you want to be really staying in standard, but in full wets you definitely want to go in lean because it just benefits a bit. You can see that's the mistake we made. That is the only mistake in that corner we made, really, and that's cost me 2 or 3 attempts there in that corner alone. So if you just miss the apex by that much, it will definitely cost you a little bit of time. As you can see, we've lost some time now. We've lost 2.5 attempts there. I think we were within a 10th in the first sector or so, or 10th down. We've definitely lost a good 10th or 2 attempts going through that corner. As you can see, this is not really an optimal. You can see the car wanted to get away from me there, so it's not really a good exit. And I was kind of annoyed on this last lap because I know I could have done another 0.5 or 0.6 if I did that. Then it would have been a very, very good time. But it's very, very difficult when you know you're on a good run. It's all about risk and reward, really. Do you really want to risk it and then throw it all away, or do you just sacrifice a couple of attempts but know you'll still get a decent time? So now I'm going to throw it into this last corner because I know I gave a little bit of time. Could have cut it a lot more than that again, but still getting a decent exit. Staying right towards the line as the fuel goes into red, and that is my best run I did in the F1 eSports qualifier, which was enough for P6 in Xbox, about 1.5 seconds in total away from the Flying Finn, who got top. So well done to him. And that means I'm through to the top 10 shootout, which is actually next Monday, the Xbox race. And the top 3 from that then go through to the pro draft for the esports. So it's at this track again, 25% raise, dynamic weather. So I'm really, really excited for that. If you enjoyed me doing this, then let me know and I'll do it for the other events. Even if I did go through for the top 3, I'll still do the other events and talk through it as well, to help you guys out. So that's just a little insight, a full raw video. Thank you for sticking around. I've been so inactive on YouTube recently because I've had an exam, which I've luckily completed in the past now. So hopefully my consistency will be back so I can help you guys and entertain you guys in my videos. Thank you so much for the support recently, and I will catch you next time. Peace.